Hello, so today we are planting Paperwhites or Narcissus, you might hear them called. Paperwhites along with Amaryllis are a very popular holiday flower. A lot of people give these kits as gifts, but you can also plant them ahead of time and have decor for your own home. They make really nice Christmas decorations along with amaryllises, which are a big red flower. The narcissus are small, petite, snowy white, very nice. Now these kits, I got these at my local home and garden center for under $10 a piece. They each come with 3 bulbs, and for the narcissus, the amaryllis is a single. And amaryllis, they don't really need soil to grow. You can plant them in a good potting mix if that's what you have. These kits come with a disc of cocoa coir that you soak, and it's really simple. So we'll unpack the kit here. Here's the kit, comes with the bulbs. These are good, firm, healthy looking bulbs. You can see there's some sprout on there, so these should take off very quickly. Obviously, they're still in good growing condition. They're not dried out. They're not mushy, anything like that. This is the disc of the planting medium that it comes in. And this is basically just to stabilize the bulbs and to give them something that will wick up and hold moisture. But the key to these is also to not have them too wet. We'll talk a little bit about that, and there is more in the article as well about that. Now, you have to pre-soak this planting medium, which I've already done to speed things along. Pre-soaking is really easy. You just need to open up this disc, take the little paper instructions off, put it in a container with 1.5 cups of water. It does say warm water, so that's what I've got here. And then this gets set aside to soak for 15 minutes. And then, magic of television, 15 minutes later, this is what you have, is that little disc expanded into this. Now, I would break this up with your fingers, loosen it up, so it's in, nice and loose for the pot. And then that expands into this. It's actually pretty neat stuff. So now to plant them, super simple. First, we're going to take our pot that it came with, and narcissus, you want to plant them. You want to plant them pretty closely, pretty tightly together. That will give you a bigger, fuller bloom when they do bloom. So you're going to put about 2 inches or so in the bottom of the pot of this planting medium. You don't really want it clumped, you want it loose, and then you kind of want to pack it down, which I know doesn't make a ton of sense, but that's the way they're going to do the best. So a couple inches in the bottom, and then we're just going to set the bulbs into there. I actually think we need about another inch in this. This is a little deeper. It doesn't really matter if you plant these deep in the pot. It actually can help them, because what happens is, even if they're, say, this low in the pot itself can help support the stems as they grow, which sometimes can be a little bit of an issue. They can flop, they can bend and tip over. They don't usually break, but they don't look very nice that way. So planting after we put the medium in, the root end, you can see the old dried up roots, go down. The pointy end is up. That's where it's going to sprout from. We're just going to set that in there. Going to firm it down in the soil. These could touch. A little bit of space in between, still going to give you a nice full, this is about a 4-inch pot. 3 is a nice number for this. If you really want to crowd and have them fuller, you could do 4. You will have to watch your water a little bit more that way, because they'll be taking more water in. And that's it. Now you would fill around these. I'll put a little bit more soil here, because this will compact down after it's tamped down and watered. You want about 1/3 of the bulb exposed. You don't want the thing completely buried. We're not burying these like we do in garden soil outside. So we want to keep some exposure there. If after you water these the first time, this is pretty wet, pretty moist, I will take this over to the sink and give it a good drench, just to make sure that this is, full. But you hold on to this. Don't get rid of your soil medium until after you've watered it a time or two. That way, if you have to add some more, you'll have it there. But about 1/3 of it popping up. And that's it. That's all there is to planting these. So again, this medium is pretty moist as it is. I don't feel like this needs any more water right now. But when you do, you are going to want to put them on a saucer. When you do water them, I wait about 20 to 30 minutes. And then if there's water left in the bottom of the saucer, dump that out, because you want these staying moist, but you don't want them wet and you don't want them soggy. So if there was standing water in the bottom of this, it would continue to soak it up, and that might keep things a little too wet. As far as watering, you're going to water roughly once a week, but everybody's house is different. Some are drier, some are more humid. So check them daily. If the top inch or so of the soil is dried out, it's time to give them a little water. When you water, try to pour from the edge and try to avoid pouring onto the bulb. The bulb itself doesn't need the water, the roots need the water. So that's what we're trying to do, is just keep a moist environment where the roots can get the water. And then this will go in a cool place for the first week or so, where we're letting those roots get established. In my home, my office is actually one of the cooler spots. Once it has some root growth, I'll bring it out into bright indirect light, or even a sunny windowsill for that stage. That is the stage where we're letting this green growth really take over, and that's what we're trying to encourage. So slightly cooler temperatures encourage root growth, where the warmer temperatures in the sunlight encourage the green stems and foliage. And then in 2 to 4 weeks, these will actually be in bloom. Once they're in bloom, to preserve the flowers, you're better moving these out of the direct sunlight into a spot with bright direct light, and then at that point, that can be anywhere in your home where you want to spruce up for the holidays. So if you want your plants in bloom for Christmas, the idea is to plant them end of November, beginning of December. If you really want to try and make sure that you have some in flower for Christmas Day or right around there, I would say plant a couple or however many you want. Plant them, a few days apart, maybe a week apart, and that will kind of hedge your bets so that you're more likely to have something in bloom. Because obviously, we know when we plant, we have a range, but there's no guarantees. The plants and the flowers themselves will kind of dictate that, and even here where we've got 2 that are already sprouting, obviously they're a little ahead of this one here. So that sort of thing. But they're very easy to plant, very easy to keep. They keep really well. They mix beautifully with amaryllises. I might take this when the time comes and maybe sink it into a glass vase surrounded with some bulbs, or maybe a box with some moss and some greenery, something like that. There's lots of ways you can play with that. Lots of fun things to do. So that's that. That's planting paperwhite bulbs. And I wish you happy holidays and health in the new year.